10, find x. Once again, tangent, secant. The tangent squared is the whole thing, x plus 9, times the part outside, 9. 169 is 9x plus 81. Subtract 81 from both sides. 9 minus 1 is 8. 16 minus 8 also is 8. 88 is 9x. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. This will not go in evenly, and here's where my rule comes into play again. 88 divided by 9 is as simplified as it gets. I'm going to call it 88 ninths. You could make that a mixed number if you want. I'm not going to require that. All right, 11, find x. Now, I am just going to worry about this part of the tangent here because this part has no bearing, but it is the whole thing x minus 8 times the part outside, x minus 8 again, or if you recall, the tangent squared equals the whole thing, which is a sum of 12 and 4, or 16, times the part outside, 4. Now, this here requires us to FOIL it. So x minus 8 squared is x minus 8 times x minus 8, or x squared minus 8x minus another 8x plus 64 equals 16 times 4, which itself is 64. Combine like terms, x squared minus 16x plus 64 is 64. Because of the quadratic, we get everything to one side so we can factor it. Interesting thing is when I bring the 64 over, it actually cancels out with what's already there. And I get x squared minus 16x is 0. So our first rule that they taught us in factoring was if you can, factor something out of all the terms. I can take an x out of here, leaving me with x. X squared divided by x is x. I can factor an x out of here, leaving me with minus 16. So if x times x minus 16 is 0, that either means x is 0, or that means x minus 16 is 0. If x minus 16 is 0, then x is 16. So I have two solutions here, 0 and 16, but when I check it, 0 minus 8 gives me a segment length that's negative. So I actually have to throw that one out. 16 minus 8 is positive, so we're really just left with this one answer. All right. 12 is similar. The whole thing, x plus 7 times the part outside x is the whole thing. 29 and 5 is 34 times the part outside 5. Or back to script, distribute x squared plus 7x is 34 times 5, which is 170. Because it's quadratic, bring the 170 over. X squared plus 7x minus 170 is 0. Now we need factors of 170. That's 1 and 170, 2 and 65. No. Two and 85. Really, they just need to be 7 apart. Then when it comes down to, it's 10 and 17. So we get x. I need a negative 170, but a positive 7. So x plus 17 times x minus 10. That gives me a solution of negative 17, which doesn't make sense because it's a segment length, and positive 10, which does make sense. That one has to be our answer.